Hi, everybody. It's Craig from Doc Sports, and we're back with Doc's Daily. We got a Friday show, Friday the 28th of February. Yes, last day of February. March Madness starts for real tomorrow, and we couldn't be more excited. We're going to even talk some March Madness as of March 1st plays, as we're going to have not only today's college basketball, we're going to have today's NBA, today's NHL. We're going to do at least three free picks, what we like for Saturday on some projected lines. So before I get to it, though, don't forget, thanks for joining in. Hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on everything we do here daily, including we've got a ton of stuff coming down the line. I'm excited to start to mention it. It's been behind the scenes. Not only can you get the premium service, so make sure you join in. You get Indian Cowboys, a couple free plays every day from him. We're going to have some more premium stuff coming forward. We'll talk about that hopefully next week. But get in on that free $60 account. If you haven't done so, docsports.com/free60. That's where new customers can get a chance to try us out for free. So make sure you take advantage of it. I have a huge day today, but let's get what Nick has first. Then we'll go to Griffin, and then we'll finish up what I have. Nick, what do you have today? I did see you on the big BPA board. You got a big play tonight, right?
Yeah, the Edmonton Oilers let me down yesterday as I had a 7-unit on the Edmonton Oilers. And, man, I thought Skinnerd, he was in net, and he just had a newborn. And he's on the road. They were on the road in Florida. So I was like, all right, well, I think Skinner's going to have well rest and not have to deal with his newborn. But they just cannot catch up to the Florida Panthers. Couple bad breaks. Tonight I have a lower card in college basketball and then also a 4-unit in the NBA. So we're lower volume here, but on the weekend, we're locked and loaded. We got a lot of college basketball, and we'll be back on the ice, Craig.
Griffin, did I see you have a big soccer play today?
I do. I have a 7-unit play that goes off at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So we got 2 hours until kickoff, ladies and gentlemen. Jack to the 9, 3-0 in my last 3 cards. So we're rolling there on the soccer field. When it comes to college hoops, currently on a 4-0 run. We say it how it is here, ladies and gentlemen. I had been looking for that 7-unit best bet all week long. I passed 2 days in a row waiting. Thought I had my play yesterday and got absolutely smoke-showed, motorboated. Had the damn Phoenix Suns. They are a Red X. I am done with that damn team. I don't give a hell anymore. I'm done with them. They're officially off my list. Losing to New Orleans outright on your own home court. Give me a damn break. Sick of them, done with it. But today, I'm back in the Eastern Conference on NBA. I have a 3-unit selection. I have 2 plays in college hoops, 7-unit soccer play, and 4 units on the ice, Craig.
Okay.
Sorry for my spiel. Got a little pissed off game last night.
We'll talk about NBA because those 2 play again tonight. The Suns and the Pelicans play in a back-to-back tonight. We'll talk about that in a but I've been absolutely killing it, NBA and NHL. College basketball starting to heat up a little bit, but NHL, I have a 6-unit play tonight. We're on a 12-5 run the last 38 days, I think it is. In the last 46 days in the NBA, we're hitting over 67% with over $6,500 profit. So I do have a 7-unit play in the NBA tonight, coming off a 3-0 sweep overall last night. So make sure you check it out. Go to docsports.com/free60. Or just go to the grid if you're an existing customer. Okay, let's talk the NBA today. I thought yesterday, first of all, my 7 or 6-unit play was the Warriors. I looked like we were dead at half. Steph hits a 65-footer.
4 seconds left.
65-footer completely changed the game. Like he makes that shot, goes off in the third quarter, and ends up covering. And what a comeback! When you have a big play like that, and you get that, that's when you know you're riding pretty good. When you get on the right side of that. But NBA tonight, I think it's a pretty good card. It does have. Robert is sick today, so we don't have Robert. But he did talk about how this time of year we're going to be having to. If you like favorites, you're going to have to lay big numbers because there's just a lot of mismatches as far as. To get even play, they got to give you these big numbers. So is there a play tonight that, maybe you like here more than others for a free play, Griffin?
Yeah, absolutely, Craig. And it's a team I don't talk about very often, and that we've got the New York Knicks rolling into Memphis to play the Grizzlies. Current line sitting at -4.5 Memphis, total sitting at 243. And I've got to say, this Knicks team, they're 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 games. Now they're rolling into Memphis. Memphis is stout at home. They're 22-6. They're first in offensive points per game, and they're first in pace of play. Why in the world is this line currently sitting at just 4.5? Shouldn't it be more like 6.5, 7? This is a reverse psychology flip for me. The market's got to show a little bit of love to the Knicks. They need to cover. Everybody's starting to jump on the bandwagon against them. I believe tonight the public gets smashed. The Knicks come in. I would not be surprised if they take this game outright. But with that being said, 0-5 against the spread in your last 5 games. Give me the insurance plus 4.5 on the New York Knicks tonight over the Memphis Grizzlies, Craig.
Yeah, I mean, how many times do you see where 0-4-1 against the spread Grizzlies, 0-5 against the spread the Knicks? So it's like both of them, as far as bettors are concerned, have been death lately. So this might be like everybody's like dipping the toe in the water just a little bit because both of them have probably, if you've bet either one of these teams, they've killed you lately. So sometimes you just stay away from those games. I do think the Grizzlies win. I liked it when I was we did a filming last night of the Grizzlies, and it was 3.5 last night. So you got a lot more. If you like the underdog Knicks, you're getting a lot more value now. So I can see you might even hit the middle. It might be 4 because I do think the Grizzlies are going to get more because the Knicks. I think they're like 1-9 or something like that against the top 3 teams in East or the West this year. So it's like they haven't been good against the best teams, and the Grizzlies are one of the best teams as far as just straight line numbers in the NBA. Okay, Nick, I think, I'm not even going to predict what your free pick is until after the fact. Tell me what your free pick is, but I think I know what it is already. I think I know
what it is. In the East right here, a marquee game. We got the Cavs and the Celtics. Was that the game you were thinking, Craig?
No.
Let's roll into this. The Boston Celtics are -2.5 here. The total sitting at 233.5. The Cavaliers, they're on an 8-game winning streak rolling into this one on the road this season. They have 21 wins already. Boston, on the other hand, they just lost to the Detroit Pistons 117-197. I think this is a bounce back spot here for the Celtics back at home. I know this is going to be a close game, so I would not take them on the spread. I would take them on the money line here as they're playing the Cavaliers at home. I think it's a big bounce back game and a statement game here in the East. I like the Celtics money line over the Cavs, Craig.
I'm on the other side of this one. I just think I don't know. The line tells me to
Plus
take
2
the other
money
side.
line.
Like, it just doesn't make any sense because the Celtics, the champions, they've won 2 of the 3 right heads up, and the other one they were up in the fourth quarter at Cleveland and gave that one away. So this line makes no sense. So for me, I did take the underdog Cavs a little bit. Not a huge play, but I'll definitely be watching this game. I just think it means more to the Cavs because the Cavs have to have the number 1 seed if they have a chance to beat Boston in the playoffs. And
Cavs
I think
are on that 8-game winning streak, Craig. What was your theory?
I think the Celtics are also like one of those, like, they feel like they could have as long as they're a top 2 seed, I think they feel like it doesn't matter who they play. If they play their best, they feel like there's no team in the NBA that can beat them. And they are a little banged up. That's why they lost to Detroit. I think it was Jaylen Brown was out. And then Holiday's been real banged up. So, this is a win now, both of these teams, because look what they're spending, both of these teams. So it's like, this is all in for this year. I do think it's going to be a great game. I thought you were taking the Bulls game, though.
Oh, that's actually a premium selection.
I thought the Bulls Raptors might, because anytime I see the Bulls as favorite, I was like, oh, Nick probably's all over the other side of this one.
It's a premium selection. We got to find out if he's on him or off him, because if he's off him, we're going the other way with our
Let's go Chicago.
Hey, I would say tonight, my free play, I'm going to take the over in the Thunder Hawks. And usually I see 240s. I don't want anything to do with it.
Sure.
But when the Hawks have 240 in their number, they give up like 130 something every time. So, and the Hawks will score. They don't have problems scoring. They just can't stop anybody. I mean, I think I like the Thunder over their team total as well tonight. I think it's like 126 or something like that, 126, 127. I think they get 140 themselves tonight. This is just a Thunder team that, yes, they're really good if you look at all the defensive categories. They're in the top 5 in pretty much everything this year as far as statistics. But they're also super efficient on offense because SGA can kill you in the mid-range. And then when you help on him, he kicks out. They bring guys off the bench that you're like, oh, this guy's, he's just a shooter. And all of a sudden he hits like 6 threes in a game. Then the next game you watch, he hardly plays. They just have so much depth, and they have just the perfect team. I will say, like, as far as you build it around your superstar, it's kind of like when Steph had, Clay and all those great shooters. It's like you put him, and it's the same way with SGA. If you put him with shooters and guys that can defend, and that's what they have. I like this over 242 in the game, but I also like the over for the Thunder as well. Almost made a premium like my top play level, but I was just like the other one I had was a little slightly better. All right, now I want to get to college basketball because even though there's not a huge card on here on Saturday, I want to be able to talk about the so that we're each going to give you a free game for Sunday as well. But don't forget, like and subscribe, and make sure you get in on that free 60 offer, DocSports.com/free60. Get in our best place tonight. You can find out who Nick likes, if he likes the Bulls or the Raptors. So just use 30 of that dollars, go in and get the NBA. And how many selections you have in the NBA tonight?
Just one. Just
one. Oh, no. So, like, and for you guys that don't know, because you maybe don't watch all the time, one time Nick had the Bulls. This is probably about a month back. Him and Griffin get these amazing seats because they live in Chicago. They go to the Bulls game, have a little drinky, and all of a sudden they're down 20 and like that.
Like,
yeah, Nick's going on himself. He's disgusted.
To the Charlotte Hornets. To the Charlotte Hornets. It's even worse. It's not even like it was the Boston Celtics. It was Charlotte Hornets.
Watching Lonzo Ball go absolutely ape shit on you.
So that's why we talk about that.
Mellow.
All right, so let's talk a little college basketball. Let's go Friday action. We'll do this kind of quickly because, like I said, there's not a ton of games tonight, and I really want to get to some of the big games on Saturday. Nick, why don't you kick us off? What do you like here Friday, college hoops?
Yeah, let's go to the Big Ten. We got UCLA at Purdue in this one. Purdue -5.5. The total is sitting at 157.5. UCLA, though, in their last 10 games, they're 8-2. They're playing really good basketball, while Purdue, on the other hand, they lost 4 games in a row. And if we go back to that game against Indiana, Purdue struggles to defend in the paint. We saw it against that Indiana team. They just got bullied left, right, and center. If this UCLA team could stop their 2 guards, because their guard play for Purdue is very good, and how they shoot from the perimeter as well is unreal. If they stop those 2 guys, they have a very good chance of winning this game. I'm going to say it right now, winning this game outright. But just to be safe, because they're going from West Coast here to the Midwest, we are going to take the points +5.5 over Purdue tonight on the road. I absolutely love the Bruins in this spot. Just Purdue's a falling knife, and I'm not catching that. I think we might have an upset alert here in Indiana. I know they're on a 4-game losing streak, but I'm staying away from Purdue here, Craig.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to put your money on a team that's playing this poorly. Now, granted, they have played a really tough schedule lately, so it's kind of a grain of salt a little bit. But UCLA is tough. I know all about Mick Cronin. I worked with him at basketball camps back when he worked for Huggins and at Cincinnati, and then he took over at Cincinnati. So I've watched him coach a lot. And the one thing his teams can do is defend and physical rebounding, like offensive rebounding is going to be a big key in this game. I'm excited to see if UCLA can do the travel is always what worries me. These teams going, time zones and that. But they did have an extended rest from last time out. So I do think UCLA has what it takes to keep at least within the number here. Griffin, before I get to my free play, and my free play is actually one of my premium plays. So nice. I'll get that. But
do it, baby. Give it to him.
Like, what do you like here, Griff?
Yeah, let's get into the MAC action. We've got Kent State rolling into Akron. Akron's laying 3.5 points in this game. We've got a total sitting at 156.5. Kent State, man, 7-3 in their last 10 games. They just absolutely doused Toledo in their most recent game by 40 points. Akron, they're playing hot basketball right now, 9-1 in their last 10 games. They're a perfect 14-0 at home. I believe tonight Akron suffers their first home defeat. This is a revenge game in my eyes. The last time these two teams squared off, Akron absolutely bulldozed Kent State by 14 points, 15 points, I want to say. I believe tonight Kent State comes in with momentum and gets the job done. We have considering the fact that Akron is undefeated at home, has never dropped a game. I like the insurance with the +3.5 points. I do believe Kent State comes in and wins this game outright, but give me the points here with Kent State at 3.5, Craig, as I just want to play this play safe. This is already going to be a tough matchup as it is, but I'm all over Kent State here. I had them against Toledo, beat them by 40 points. I'm riding the trend. I'm jumping on the bandwagon right now, Craig. Give me the points here with Kent State.
All right. I don't know, you guys might be too young for like no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. I have Akron here as my premium play, 2-unit play tonight. You're getting it for free. Hey, listen, Nolan of Strike Point Sports, talked to him this morning. Had a good talk with him. He's going to start doing some videos and this summer. He's going to be coming in on Docs Daily, but doing some other free picks videos. But guess who's going to the game tonight? Oh, Nolan's driving in to go to the Kent State, and he's sitting courtside. and he likes Akron too. I told him, well, if they're losing late, storm the court, grab the ball, run off the court with it so we get a push.
Disrupt the game.
So if you see some madman running on the court, it's probably Nolan of Strike Point Sports.
Doc
trying
Sports.
trying to save my loss, a 2-unit loss. But I do think Akron, last weekend they lost to at Ohio. Very tough place to play is Ohio. Very close to me, about 45 minutes from me. So I've seen the convo many times. Very tough place to play to. I think that actually is a positive, because if they had this really long winning streak against their rival, this would be a danger spot. They lost that game. I think Akron knows they need to win this game for their psyche. Kent State, I think, is the second best team in the MAC. Probably might see these teams square off for the championship game in the MAC to get the NCAA tournament dance. So I think I do think Akron defends their home court. But remember, this is a rivalry game. That's why it's only 2-unit play for me, because anytime it's a rivalry game, you kind of can throw, like the records, the stats, throw them out the window. It's like North Carolina Dukes this weekend. Same thing. Duke's going to be a big favorite. Be careful, because, this is the time where they lose outright, because, your rivalry, you just know these guys so well. So let's talk a little Saturday college basketball. Griffin, you kick us off with a free play for Saturday to get us going.
Let's get some SEC matchup. I've got Alabama at Tennessee. And Craig, we've learned a lot about this Alabama team, especially after dropping to Auburn at home. Alabama, they proved they can be stopped on the offensive side. If Sears does not go off, this Alabama team can have issues scoring. Tennessee as well, they're very deep on the defensive side. And Auburn just proved to us that Alabama can be stopped offensively. I think the table should turn here, and I do think Alabama is the play. Considering the line is +5 right now, it's on Nate Oates. He's got his boys behind his back. I think
it's 3.5 though. I think it's coming down. It opened at 5. I think I see some 3.5, some 4s out there, just so people know.
3.5 is still doable with me. I would like to see that line jump back up to 4. 3.5 is cutting it really close for me. I'm still going to ride this, and I believe it's on Nate Oates. He got his absolute behind coached off against Bruce Pearl back when they played Auburn. So if Alabama, they don't come out scorching early in this game, I think it's going to be another chase situation. So right now, when I look at this game, I had it set out at +5. If it's +3.5, this is kind of one of those medians. If it jumps up to 4, anything above 4, I'm on Bama. I'm also looking at a totals play in this. I gave Raphael a phone call. I asked him what his thoughts were going to be on this. That's our odds maker, obviously. And I asked him what he thought the total was going to be in this game. He said somewhere in the mid 165, something around there. If it's anything under 165, drill the under in this game. So, Craig, my free plays in this matchup are taking Bama anywhere from +4 and up, and taking the under in this matchup if it's 165 and under.
153.5 is the advanced number. I just see it just popped up.
Out. Drill the under in this game. That's my free play, Craig.
Yeah, I do think this is a correlated parlay type game. If you like Tennessee, you got to like the under. I just don't think – I think if it gets in the up and down game that Alabama wants, Alabama's going to win outright. So I would probably pay Alabama money line and the over, or Tennessee minus the points and the under. So I like that. The one question for me is not Tennessee, to be honest, because I kind of know what Tennessee is, I think.
Sure.
I'm not sure what Alabama is, because – if all they do is continue to shoot these threes, which I know they're a big stats team and analytical team that they like the NBA type style where they layups, no mid-range, layups or 3-pointers. They statistically this year are just not that same 3-point shooting team that saw that Final Four team. So I'm looking to see tonight, because Tennessee's good on defense. Can they not make threes and still try to win a game? Because you're going to have to do that in NCAA tournament if you're going to go far, because there's going to be a game where you do not shoot well. That's just, 5. You're not winning 6 games in a row shooting 52% from the 3-point line. So I'm excited to see it.
Prime example, Craig. I mean, look what Auburn did to them. They completely stuffed it up. I mean, they could not hit anything from the arc. And Bama played the chase game the entire game. So that's a huge issue right now for Alabama. But take on, Craig. Go ahead.
And they're not tall. Alabama's not tall, so a tall team like Auburn really takes it. Now, I will say Tennessee doesn't have near the height. No team has the Auburn height. I mean, they are just long. They look like an NBA team where every guy's got the condor arms and can block shots from the lane and stuff. So, Nick, what do you like as a free play here for Saturday? Good card here.
Yeah, let's get a little feather here. We got West Virginia and BYU. The projected line in this is -8.5 right now for BYU. West Virginia, we know they don't play good on the road. They're 3-6 here, while BYU at home, they're stellar. They're 12-3. BYU, they're winners of 5 straight here, 8-2 in their last 10 games. But this West Virginia defense is no joke, ladies and gentlemen. They are coming in right now ranked 26 in defensive rating. I know that the public's going to be all over BYU at home here, laying that 8.5. I'm going to tell you this right now. BYU averages 80 points per game. They are not going to score 80 points in this game. I think West Virginia shuts them down on the defensive side. BYU might win this game and should win this game at home, but I think West Virginia covers here, plus 8.5 over BYU here tonight or tomorrow, Craig.
Yeah, Darian DeVries, like, if you guys don't know who he is, he's the new coach of West Virginia. He was at Drake, and like what he did at Drake the last few years has been pretty amazing. They're good again this year, by the way. He left a good run of how to win in that league. But he's done a very good job. I thought this would be a big down year after, obviously Bob Huggins wasn't there last year, but they had an interim coach, so they really did not recruit. They basically had a no recruiting year, and he came in and got basically all transfers, and they've been pretty good. Now, just like the rest of the Big 12, they can't win on the road. It's been – I still can't believe. I knew it would be – it's a tough conference. But, West Virginia's 3-6 on the road. Usually good defensive teams on the road will get you a win here and there because they'll just shut teams down. But it's a big number. 8.5 seems like a whole lot. I was thinking it was going to be in the 6s, 6.5. And then I might take BYU, but man, at 8.5, just with a good defensive team, it just seems like a little much. Let's remember though, BYU probably the toughest place to play in the Big 12. People want to talk about BYU and Utah are absolutely look what teams have done. It doesn't matter who it is; they went in there and had no luck. So I think the only loss, maybe BYU is Arizona, right? It was at BYU, I think it's the only loss. So that is the one caveat in this one. And I'm sure why you didn't make this one of your top plays is you kind of worry that West Virginia goes in there and it's just this crowd takes over. And it's also you play in Utah, it's a little altitude there. People don't realize it. So it's not like going to Colorado, but it's kind of the hidden gem there. Okay, I got a free play for you here on Saturday. And, I think there's some good games, but I think there's one that is going to be slightly not a premium play, but I think it's one of those hidden gems, and it's Arizona, Iowa State. And the reason why I like this game is because Iowa State has been completely banged up, and they've fought hard. They're 14-1 at home, but they're only 7-8 against the spread, and it looks like maybe they might be missing 2 starters again in this one. If not, they're not going to be fully go. And Arizona's been a sneaky good team. They are this close to beating Houston. They played right with Houston. If they win that game, they would be still in the race to win the Big 12, even though Houston has, I think, secured at least a tie at this point. But I like Arizona here plus the 4.5. I just think Iowa State's it's asking too much when you're having to play these guys these extra minutes or basically bring guys back that haven't even been in the rotation for 2 or 3 games. I think Arizona's a live dog here. We're going to take them plus 4.5, but I think they can win this game. I know Iowa State people are going to see that 14-1 record at home. That's what they haven't been covering. They haven't covered even 50% of the games. Now, usually it's because they're laying a little more points than this, but it's this points because of the status of the guards for Iowa State. So if they're there, I don't care or not, because I just don't think they'll be at their full 100% level. Give me Arizona plus the points in this one. And I will say this is a PSA announcement. I'll get up on my soapbox a little bit. This is the time of year. Underdogs in college basketball are the play. And the reason why is more people watch teams. They only remember the good stuff. They remember Iowa State, come back. What was that win at Kansas State, was it? Or no, it's Kansas. I think they came back. I forget. They had a couple really – it was at Texas Tech.
Yeah, Texas
went into overtime, had that unbelievable shot. So they remember where those, before they got injured and stuff, it's this Iowa State team hasn't quite been that same the last couple of weeks. And so, I think you can get extra points, and that's what we're getting this time of year. Underdogs, look at them twice as much. Remember, you're getting 4 or 5 points. That's 2.5 possessions. This time of year, things come down to the wire. We've seen some unbelievable buzzer beaters. Guess what? Both those teams covered. Both those teams covered, by the way. Michigan.
Did they?
Yeah.
Michigan last night against Rutgers. Unbelievable.
Maryland 2 nights ago.
Yeah, Michigan. Yeah, it's just that, both teams covered. So people don't talk about that because they just remember about the shot, but the underdogs both covered in those games.
That.
All right. So let's talk a little NHL now. This is Nick's in his wheelhouse here, even though you did say you lost last night.
I did.
We won't hold it against you. Remember, even the best, and sometimes we don't talk about this, the best handicappers, the best bettors. So like the Warren, we are considered the Warren Buffetts of our, like the world. We're the people come talk to and get but even Warren Buffett has times where, like he has down months.
I got his portfolio. He's down right now in Sirius XM, like freaking 4%. He's down.
So it happens days, but we're in this for the long haul. We show profits over the long haul, just like an investment company would do. And that's what we're going to do. So Nick, use your put all the brain power together and tell us what you like for the NHL tonight.
Let me give you guys a nice gem here. We got the Los Angeles Kings headed to Dallas. Dallas is minus 135 on the money line here. The total's sitting at 5.5. Both teams are coming in this game off losses, though. The Stars play their best hockey at home. They have 20 wins on the season. The Los Angeles Kings, here it is. They're 0-4 this season against the Dallas Stars. The Kings, in their last 4 games, they have lost 3 of those on the road. So who's everybody going with tonight? The Dallas Stars, right? Wrong. I think Darcy Kemper has a big night, steps up here in net on the road. We are taking the Los Angeles Kings money line at odds of plus 115 over the Dallas Stars here tonight, Craig.
There you go. Let's swinging for the fences a little bit. I like it. Take it to underdog. Griffin, any pizza money? Yeah, any free play you like here in NHL?
Everyone knows the rules. Oh, you want to talk about swinging for the fences here, Craig? We're going to swing for the fences. We've got Minnesota at Colorado. Colorado is currently minus 340 on the money line with the total sitting at 5.5. You do have to remember, everybody, Minnesota, they just got absolutely slaughtered last night in a 6-1 final to Utah. So they are playing back-to-back games in this matchup. But Minnesota is one of the best road hockey teams in the NHL. They're currently sitting with a 21-8 record. This is a bounce-back day in my eyes. Colorado, they're playing stout hockey here. But this is a divisional matchup. Minnesota, 11-8 when it comes to divisional matchups. Colorado, they're just 8-10-1. Give me Minnesota here, plus 1.5 on a plus value play at plus 105. And do not be surprised if Minnesota finds a way to win this game outright. Back earlier in the week, Nick had the San Jose Sharks plus 1.5 against Winnipeg. Winnipeg was on an 9-game winning streak in that matchup. They almost beat them outright, ended up losing that game 2-1. I see a very similar final in this matchup. So, Craig, give me Minnesota here, plus 1.5, plus 105 value play.
I mean, I bet against personally last night as a, they got me on, what was it, 3 nights ago? Detroit beat Minnesota at Minnesota.
Yeah.
One of my top plays. They were up 2-0. And so last night I was like, screw them. I'm going with Utah. I got it done last night. They're like a no bueno bet for me because I turned it on. It was 1-0. They scored the second goal. I'm like, they kind of, I don't say dominated, but they played really good hockey first. And it was like, hey, we just can just try to mess around here the whole second quarter. All of a sudden, before you know it, the third quarter it's 2-2. Then they end up losing. It was like
Utah is like betting on the Wizards. You never know what's going to take place.
Right.
Yeah. The good thing about when you bet on Utah, you almost always getting plus money. So it's and some good times. Now, if you bet plus money on Utah, I'm guessing you're probably about even on the year because you get them at it. Now, you bet plus money on the Wizards, even though they're plus 400 a lot of times, you're not even close to the year because they've won 6-7 games or something. So it's like in the NHL, at least the worst teams can come up and win every once in a while. The worst teams in the NBA, the last few years, Detroit last year, this year, Washington, have not been good. The 76ers as underdogs have been absolutely terrible. So anyway, but I don't really have a strong free play because I do have on one of the games they talked about is my premium play. But I kind of like another underdog in that other game, Toronto, the Rangers. I know Toronto's been good on the road, but I don't know. I wanted to pull the trigger on the Rangers, to be honest. So it's a slight lean to the Rangers, and I kind of like the under in that game as well. I do think if the Rangers win, it'll probably be a lower scoring game. So but I just couldn't pull the trigger even as a free play, but that's just a slight lean for me. That's the other 3 games. That's all 3 games that are in the NHL for tonight. Okay. We've got to get out of here as we're running up against our end. But don't forget, like and subscribe. Make sure you don't miss on all the great videos. Go ahead and join in on the premium here at YouTube. Get in on, you'll get Indian Cowboys a couple leans that he likes every day. He'll do a live show where you can basically ask him, I think it's 2 or 3 times a week, and it's like $20 a month. So make sure you join in. Also, you like and subscribe, and you don't even have to join. You'll get all the videos we do here every day. So make sure you get in on that. And don't forget, get our best plays. Go to docsports.com/free60. I've got a 7-6 and a 5-unit rare that you have 3 plays like this. I have 4 plays a night.
Oh.
3 of them are top plays.
Big
but
day.
Just happen to be that, sometimes the lines just come where you like them, and you take a bigger swing than other days. Tomorrow, actually going to be a little smaller day, believe it or not. Probably going to have a 7 and a 5-unit only tomorrow as far as top plays. But we do have Griffin. If you're watching this live, you can still get in on the top play in soccer today. It goes at 3 o'clock? Did I say Eastern?
3 o'clock Eastern time.
Yeah, so you have like an hour and a half left if you're watching live right now. But Nick, I know you got a big card tomorrow, so don't forget, get in on this. If you're already an existing customer, don't worry. Just go to the grid. You can get in on that. $30 per sport per day or $99 per sport per week. So make sure you check that out. Okay, we're getting out of here. Have a great day. Hope all your bets are winning ones. We'll see you again on Monday. This week, we're hoping to secure Tony George. Possibly, or maybe August Yun for Monday and Tuesday. And then, of course, we'll have Raphael and Robert as always. So make sure you stay tuned. We'll be back next week with some more winning plays. Good luck.